So the spoilers for chapter 10 of Boruto TBV VORTEX has dropped last night. The scans dropped this morning, but the text dropped last night. I went live and we chatted it up for like an hour and some change about mostly the sneak peek, Sarada versus Hidari, and then you know Himawari with her new 9 tails power. So it looks like we're gonna be going over most of that today. So before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the live stream from last night if you missed it. The VOD is still up, so you can go check that out if you wish to do so. So for the most part, this video is just gonna be me like basically repeating what I said last night. Well, most of what I said, because I want to save most of my thoughts and ideas for when the chapter actually comes out. Because like I said many times, what came out today was basically the fan translations. It wasn't the official translations. And sometimes, well, most of the time, the fan translations are very misleading. So to prevent any confusion, we're just gonna comment on the scans, not so much of the dialogue. But without further ado, let's get into these spoilers. So the chapter basically starts off where chapter 9 left off. Himawari, INOJIN, and Shikadai, as well as Chocho, is flying off trying to lead JURA out of Konoha to prevent any further destruction. And even though JURA notices this, he still takes the bait and chases after them, like I said he would in the video, which leaves Hidari there by himself to take on Sarada and the others. Because the very idea of JURA staying with Hidari and facing off against Konohamaru and Sarada, basically, it's not going to be pretty at all. Trust me when I say that. So it's better that they split up. Hidari goes after Sarada and JURA goes after Himawari, their respective targets. And this is all happening while Boruto is still hiding from his encounter with Kawaki. Remember from chapter 9, his karma started to activate and he had to fly off quickly. But from the look of things right here, it seems like he got his karma back under control. He states he was just worried, it was just a minor accident, he'll take some time to rest up and it'll be fine. It should be fine. Because right here, this is no time. This is no time for his karma to be going out of control. The absolute worst time. It's the perfect opportunity for Boruto to kind of get like a one-on-one with Hidari. And what I mean when I say that, Shikamaru contacted Kawaki to tell him that the Shinju are after Boruto as well. They're hostile towards him. So for now, just leave him be, because he could be a good asset to lure him away from Konoha. But then Kawaki interrupts and says, if Himawari was in danger, you should have told me that sooner. So now it looks like he's flying off to help Himawari, so that means we're gonna get another fight between Kawaki and JURA. And I'm not gonna lie, I love this from Kawaki, because it shows even through all his coldness and ill-tempered manner, he still deeply cares about his little sister. So I'm not gonna lie, I gained a little bit of respect here for Kawaki. Even though he's probably gonna get washed again, he has my respect because his head is in the right place. He wants to protect Himawari. So this creates an opening for Boruto to help out Sarada because Kawaki isn't going to be there. He's going to be with Himawari and the others. So I can already read it. Next chapter, we're going to be seeing Sarada and Boruto versus Hidari. And if that happens, I think both of them will prove too much for a guy like Hidari. It's gonna be a good fight regardless, but that is a lot on his hands. So I'm excited to see what happens there. But then you still have Kawaki and JURA, and as much as I love Himawari's transformation, I don't know if it'll be enough. Because as we know, JURA is the strongest out of the Shinju, and Kawaki just hasn't looked up to par lately. Maybe Kawaki can use his V2 state for the first time in TBV VORTEX so we can get a taste of what that is. Now his Karma V2 state should allow him to put up more of a fight than he ever did against JURA, but is it enough to actually damage JURA to the point where it's like, okay, I need to retreat? I don't know, and I'm not banking on it either. So based off this panel right here, Boruto and Sarada and Himawari and Kawaki could be a matchup we see next chapter. But the one thing I'm gonna say about that fight, if Kawaki and Himawari prove to be no match, then you have two more people that can possibly help you, and that is Mitsuki and Damon. So keep an eye out for them as well, because I do think Mitsuki will join in the fight regardless, and he's gonna offer some help. But it's no secret that if you had to choose between Mitsuki and Damon, you're gonna choose Damon 100% of the time. So with Mitsuki, it's still a little iffy, but the odds still go up. But with Damon, I can almost assure he'll make a difference in the fight. A big difference at that. So cutting back to the conflict between Hidari, Konohamaru, Sarada, and Sumire, after Konohamaru joins in, Sarada finally arrives to the scene, and like I said before in the video, it's on site. It's literally on site between Hidari and Sarada. As soon as Hidari even looked at Sarada, he instantly teleported to her using Ko's claw marks and tried to rip her to shreds using a Chidori. But from the sneak peek that we seen a couple days ago, she already perceived that movement and reacted to it. So now the feat just got slightly better because now we know he used Ko's claw marks to teleport to her. Sarada did not know that he can do this. And from the looks of it, Sarada and Hidari was a good distance away from each other. He instantly teleported right behind her, and she can perceive this and react to it. Well, not only react to it, but counterattack using her own Chidori. And it was fortunate for her, she was able to graze Hidari using her Chidori. So the fight is already looking a little bit interesting. You see what I'm saying? I might have to backtrack on what I said about Sarada initially, because don't get me wrong, I said she could possibly handle her own against Hidari, but she probably won't have what it takes to permanently take him down. And while I still think that, I now believe Sarada has the capability of harming Hidari. So after Sarada used the Chidori on Hidari and he fell to the ground, she was surprised to see that he was able to use the technique only to be known by her and Sasuke. So then she asks, who the hell is this guy? So next chapter is just gonna be a mix of Hidari versus Sarada, and then it's gonna be JURA and Himawari scrapping it out. And then we're gonna kind of flip-flop between them and JURA and Himawari to kind of show both of their point of views in the fight. But for the most part, this chapter was just mainly focused on Himawari and the Nine Tails. Well, now I could probably say she was talking to Kurama, because here we can confirm that this Nine Tails does have the same memories of Kurama. So Himawari and Kurama are talking, and it looks like Kurama still has his memories of when he was with Naruto. So now he's explaining to Himawari of how it's possible that he can come back to life. And even though most people knew this, a lot of people, they just don't read Naruto. So they was always questioning, oh, Kurama, how did he come back? That's bad writing. When in reality, he was always going to come back, because as stated by Kurama, the death of Usbiju is not eternal. He was always meant to come back. Once the essence reappears, then they will resurrect. And the Nine Tails essence was indeed inside of Himawari. That's why the Nine Tails reappeared in Himawari. So it looks like even Kurama doesn't really know, or he knows but he's still questioning it by saying, were you born with a fragment of my chakra, or the blood of Naruto and Hinata flows through you, or is it just simply fate? Either way it is, it probably doesn't matter. She has to hurry up and accept the situation because they don't have much time. Well, if you ask me, it's probably a mix between all three. It was fate that Himawari would possess the Nine Tails chakra. But as much as I want to blame fate, the chakra of Naruto and Hinata runs through her, and it looks like she was born with a fragment of Kurama's chakra. I want to state briefly that I think this was supposed to be Boruto's power, but was kind of retconned in the favor of Himawari, because now Himawari has the Nine Tails, but it was supposed to be Boruto's. And if you want to hear more about that and why I say that, then click the video in the top right hand corner, because I explained everything. I went into depth about how this was possible and why Kishimoto came up with the idea that this may not be the best option to go for Boruto, and thought it would be a better idea to give it to Himawari. So after this, Himawari snaps out of her trance, and we can see JURA chasing after Himawari and the others, and he's catching up quite fast. So he launches another Biju bomb from his eye, and it takes out one of the wings from INOJIN's bird. Then they go crashing down. So now it's looking like trouble for Himawari and the others. So Himawari, in a desperate attempt to save her friends, launches at JURA, and you can see it doesn't go so good for her. This man grabs her leg and twists it the complete opposite direction, leaving her on the ground traumatized. So Team 10 desperately tries to get Himawari out of there, but to no avail. Nothing is working. Like I said, everybody is desperate right now. Nothing is working. They can't even touch JURA at this point. INOJIN thought it would be a good idea. He thought it would be a great idea to just launch at JURA with a regular kunai in the slim chance that he could save Himawari. But yet again, to no avail, he just gets kneed in the chest. But I still gotta give respect to where it's due, because he still did try. He tried. Even though he wasn't powerful enough, he still tried. But unfortunately, trying just isn't enough. JURA impales INOJIN with his wood style, and it's not looking good for INOJIN at all. But sorry to rain on y'all parade, because I know y'all do want some deaths in Tubular Vortex to spice some things up. A lot of people have made that clear to me. Y'all want somebody to die. I get it. But I don't think INOJIN is gonna go away just yet. Because what I think will happen, Himawari is just going to try to heal INOJIN with her Nine Tails chakra. Because after this, she just explodes in a fit of rage. This kind of reminds me of Naruto versus Haku. The rage of seeing one of her close friends just being brutally assaulted right in front of her eyes, and her just exploding in a fit of rage. But of course, this time is probably a little different because she does have more control over KURAMA than Naruto did at that point. So I don't expect Himawari to just go attacking anybody. You see what I'm saying? KURAMA even said it himself. He told Himawari that her chakra is better than any other predecessors, which is Naruto and Kushina. The affinity between her chakra and KURAMA's is very, very high. Enough to surpass even Naruto in that regard. So they're already setting it up for Himawari to have even more control over the Nine Tails power than Naruto ever did. The fact that he stated that she has more potential than Naruto in this regard, it's crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm excited to see what will happen in the near future. And here we are at the last spoiler. Angry hair strikes heaven. Himawari awakens for the sake of your friends. Stand up for yourself. And as you can see, her hair is very similar to Kushina's. So now next chapter, we're gonna see exactly what Himawari and KURAMA could do together. And I simply can't wait. I'm not gonna lie to you. So anyway, this is the end of the spoilers. Like I said, I wasn't going to go over everything because I'm gonna save that for the chapter review. This is just my initial thoughts on everything in the panels, as well as the raw translations. So if you have any thoughts or anything like that, make sure to leave it down below in the comment section, as well as if you liked or disliked the chapter for any apparent reason, leave that in the comment section as well. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and say this was definitely an 8 out of 10 chapter for me. I like the fact that we're taking a bit of a break away from Boruto, just trying to focus on other characters that's gonna be important later in the series, like Himawari and Sarada for that regard anyway, and just see what they can do post time skip, you know? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And until the chapter review comes out, I'ma see y'all later. I'm out. Peace.